What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Stay Nation with your boy Stay for another brand new Apex Legends video. Really excited, glad you guys tuned in today because we got the brand new Apex Legends 1.1.1 update which just released today, and there's quite a few changes. We got some bug fixes, we got some legend balance tunings, we got some weapon balance tunings, and even some double XP, which actually is here right now. I'll just explain the details a little bit later. So lots to get into. But still, guys, there is no new content with this Apex Legends update. Really disappointed, to be honest. I know everyone's waiting on the second legend of season 1. Well, the second legend is supposedly supposed to be coming out in season 1, and then we still haven't seen any new weapons after the Havoc. So kind of a letdown. I really did think that would tie me over, especially until season 2, but it didn't happen today. But once again, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, let's get into these balance changes because there's some pretty exciting and groundbreaking stuff today. So what changed in terms of weapons? Well, the G7 Scout, the Longbow DMR, Havoc, Wingman, Spitfire, they all got little tunings in their own ways. Some got buffed, some got nerfed, and then also our gold tier weapons got some attachment changes. So that's pretty sick. I know a lot of you guys are going to be literally pumped out of your face for that. Guns like the Wingman, it had like the 2 to 4 times scope on it on the gold Wingman, and I would seriously not pick it up 90% of the time strictly because of that scope. But just a little sneak peek, that thing is outie here, so get that out of the park. But now I kind of want to get into what happened with the legends, okay? What happened with specifically Caustic and Gibraltar, because these are our tick boys. These are the guys who have been, you know, like kind of thrown under the bus since the start of the game. Pathfinder, he got his update a couple weeks ago or whenever he got it, and he's kind of overpowered now, to be honest. His hitbox is insane. You can't touch that man if you were in a phone booth with him. So Pathfinder, he's set. But Caustic and Gibby, now they got a little something today that will hopefully tie them over. And to be honest, the update that came to them, I think it's pretty groundbreaking. I think that it could seriously hold them over and even make them overpowered in a lot of situations for the people who know how to play Apex right. So why did they change Gibby and Caustic? Like, why did they give them a little buff? Well, it's not really a surprise. As you guys all know, they are fairly underpowered, but they couldn't really shrink down the hitbox because that would, like, you know, just look really weird in this game. Imagine Gibby was the same size as Wraith. And then they also couldn't just like shrink like the area which you can shoot, because then you would have dead zones on the outsides of their legends. So what they've come to, they've given Caustic and Gibraltar a perk now, and this perk is called Fortified. This Fortified perk is essentially going to give them 10% less damage taken from all forms of damage, whether it explodes, gunshot. So that's a huge advantage, guys. Like, if you're 200 and 200 health and you got a guy playing with Gibby who knows how to finesse the movements, and now you're going to take 10% less damage on top of that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not complaining because I'm yet to test it out yet, but Respawn did say they're going to be keeping an eye on that for the next following weeks, because that could be seriously overpowered if someone knows how to use them right, especially a legend like Caustic. Caustic is, in my opinion, nowhere near as bad as Gibby, but he got the same perk. So that is what's new with the legends. But now I want to get into the specific changes that happen with their abilities. So first up with Caustics Abilities, as you guys all know, once again, he got that Fortified perk, but then in terms of his little deployable Stink Gas Bomb, he got a new damage increase. So now instead of 1 damage per tick, every tick it's now going to deal 4 damage. So pretty big buff to his tactical ability. I think that's going to be pretty useful. And honestly, I just hate Caustic, bro. Like, the fact that they did it is going to be useful for Caustic mains, but for me, that's just going to be another pain in my butt. But now, taking a look at his ultimate ability, okay, so that's that big stink bomb that he throws as a little nade, and it covers a huge surface area. Well, if you thought it was big then, just wait, because it's even bigger now. It's been increased from 28 meters, so a 28 meter radius, to a 33 meter radius now. So a pretty big ultimate ability for Caustic now, considering that's just one massive ball of stink gas. But that's all there is to it with changes with Caustic. Now I kind of want to get into the changes with Gibraltar. As you guys all know, once again, he got that 10% damage reduction with the Fortified perk, just like Caustic. And then he also got a buff to his gun shield. So his gun shield is when he aims down his sights, he put his arm up, and then that little shield pops up in front of him. Now, instead of only bracing 50 damage in addition to his health, it now has been buffed to 75 damage. So that's honestly, like, I don't know how a lot of people are going to feel about this. Once again, let me know down in the comment section below, but I'm honestly pretty happy about this one. because Gibraltar's really been like, Gibraltar just hasn't been thrown under the bus. Gibraltar has been run over by the bus since the start of Apex, so it's really nice to see him get a significant buff that will hopefully give his passive ability some form of actual use. You know, 50 damage isn't much, and 75 isn't much either, but it's better than 50. So glad to see this for Gibraltar. I'm happy for you, buddy. Go get him, Gibby. But that's it, guys. That's everything covering the legend changes. But now I kind of want to get into the not the legend change, sorry, the weapon changes, because there's been quite a few, way more than there was legend changes. Okay, so looking at these weapons, the main goal of this update was to ultimately improve sniping in this game and make certain weapons less overpowered. They obviously know that there's a hierarchy list to the weapons in this game. That's not what they're trying to do, is like even everything out, because the Mozambique will never be on par with the Spitfire. It's just not happening, and I doubt they're ever going to add like dual wielding Mozambique. It's supposed to be a starting gun, so I think that's exactly where they're going to keep it. But they wanted to increase sniping, because sniping has been at an all-time low in Apex Legends. There's no reason to use like a longbow. There's no reason to use a G7 Scout past literally your initial landing. Once you find something better, you're getting rid of that gun and putting it in your hands. So they've reduced a couple damage like reduction hindrances to these snipers, and they're really nice to see. So looking at the snipers in a general category, the G7 Scout triple take and longbow, they've actually lowered leg shot damage reduction from 25% to only 10%. So now when you shoot someone in the legs with a longbow, instead of reducing the damage that was supposed to be delivered by 25%, now it's only gonna reduce it by 10%. So nice buff on the legs for them snipers. And then they've also reduced base weapon sway by about 33% for all three of these snipers. That's really nice, because like when you're at range, time isn't something you exactly have. I know you do have the distance between you to brace for the shots, but like a wingman user strafing side to side is going to be fairly hard to hit, especially with an increased weapon sway. So it's good to see that they got rid of that, or at least reduced it by quite a bit. And then also they reduced base sway speed by about 25% on these snipers. So I'm really excited. Some decent changes to snipers. Maybe it'll influence me to try out some more snipers. I'm definitely going to try it after this update. But now looking at the actual changes of the specific weapons, the longbow, triple take, and G7 Scout, I'm gonna get into the longbow first. And they've increased its fire rate from about 1.2 bullets to about 1.6 bullets per second. Pretty nice fire rate increase. I'm happy about that. I'm definitely gonna give the longbow a try. Longbow is probably what I'm most excited for, because with that skull piercer attachment, maybe it'll compete with the wingman at ranges now. And then they've also gave it a magazine increase buff. So basically its base magazine is going to be 6 rounds instead of 5 rounds. When you put on the common magazine, it's going to be 8 rounds instead of 6 rounds now. The rare magazine is going to be 10 rounds instead of 8 rounds. And then the epic purple magazine is going to be 12 instead of 10. So each like level of its magazines got basically a 2 bullet increase to its magazine size. So now I'm going to move it on to the Havoc, and the Havoc is the next weapon that received a pretty significant buff. Honestly, they're okay. Like, it's significant, but not in a way that I want it to be significant. So basically it got an increased base magazine size from 25 to now 32 rounds. So it's going to be a bigger magazine, which is nice, because I do enjoy using the Havoc. It is a very shredful weapon if you land your shots. They emphasized in this article that the Havoc, which is an energy weapon, places more emphasis on finding ammo rather than finding attachments. Like the R301 carbine and the Hemlock, they place more emphasis on finding attachments to become powerful, but you have a plentiful amount of ammo. So that's kind of how they went about the Havoc. And then looking at its charge beam shot with the select fire receiver, it now reduced cost per shot from 5 bullets to 4 bullets. So now when you shoot a charge up beam, it's only going to cost you 4 instead of 5. Okay, and now next, it's increased its close range damage from 55 damage to 60 damage, increased damage at range from 45 to 50. Close range damage fall off has been increased from 35 meters to 75 meters. So at 75 meters now is how far it's going to take for damage to fall off with the Havoc select fire receiver shot. And then also range damage fall off has been increased from 75 meters to 125 meters. So they've really tried to buff that select fire receiver attachment for the Havoc, make it a much more valid option at ranges. But seriously, I don't think these buffs are going to do it. I would much rather use now the longbow at range rather than a select fire Havoc. Now we're going to get into the Wingman and the Wingman's weapon changes. Wingman took a bit of a hit today, and I don't know how it's going to translate into the game. I'm gonna have to try it out and test it out, but basically they've reduced the magazine sizes by about 2 bullets for each level of magazine. So its base is going to go from 6 to 4, common is 8 to 6 bullets, rare is 9 to 8 bullets, and then that purple heavy extended mag is now going to be 10 bullets instead of 12 bullets. So a little bit of a nerf there. Moving it on to the Spitfire, we have a reduced damage from 20 damage per shot to 18 damage per shot. I'm kind of sad about this. You know, the Spitfire has been one of my favorite weapons in this game, and I don't think it's going to do too much, but the Spitfire does have a pretty slow fire rate, so we'll have to see how this translates into game. Each bullet now with 2 less damage, that could add up in the long run. On top of that, they've also reduced the magazine sizes, so its Epic is going to deal now only 55 bullets instead of 60 bullets, so everything's been dropped by about 5 bullets each level of magazine, so you guys could do the math and work yourself down from there. But now, this is where it gets really exciting, okay, guys? We're going to get into the gold weapon attachments and where things took a turn here. First up, looking at the gold Havoc. The gold Havoc no longer has a select fire receiver. That was a moron choice of whoever decided to put that on the gold Havoc. But that's gone, so it's now a turbocharger. Looking at the gold R301, I'm still not happy with this. They have a 1 to 2 times variable hollow sight on it. Instead of that, like, I think it was like 4 to 8 times. Something crazy on the R301. But that's gone, so we got the 1 to 2 times hollow sight. And then lastly, give me a drum roll, everybody, on the wingman. The gold wingman, we now have a digi threat, all right, a good old digital threat instead of that 2 to 4 times scope or whatever it was just garbage. So we finally got our favorite scope on the gold wingman. I know a lot of people are going to be rocking that thing as soon as they find it. But that right there, guys, I know I've been going on. It sounds like I'm blabbering on, but I wanted to run you guys through every single change that went down in this update in terms of legends, in terms of weapons, and that's it. But to finish things off, we also got our XP bonus, which is going to be starting up as of today at 10 a.m. and that's going to follow through until Thursday, the 18th at 10 a.m. as well. And what this XP bonus is going to do for you guys is that each day, so you guys have a total of essentially 3 tries to do it. If you guys place top 5 in a match with your squad, you get a free battle pass tier. Okay, so it's essentially like 27,500 experience, something crazy like that, but you only get 3 of them because it's a max of 1 per day. So I think it's a garbage XP bonus, man. Like Respawn, I wish you guys just gave us like a percentage increase per like whatever we were dealing, you know what I mean? I wish you guys did that, because 1 free battle pass tier per day, that's 3 battle pass tiers. What is that, bro? Like, if you're gonna reward people for grinding this game, really reward them. Don't put a level cap on how much they can earn in the experience bonus like date range you gave us. It's trash. Like, shame on you for that, Respawn. Like, seriously, I'm just not happy with that. So that's the experience bonus. And then lastly, we also had some bug fixes with our badges. And that concludes today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. That is all the bug fixes, the balance changes, the legends, balance changes, the weapons that went down today. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm gonna definitely be trying out Gibby and Caustic and trying out some of those new snipers. Let me know down in the comment section below specifically, okay, once again, what you guys think of that Gibby and Caustic buff with the fortified perk. And I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow, man. Drop a like, subscribe, peace out.